Alright, we're going to look at some Graves animation cancels and maybe some of the ideas behind them that people don't really understand. I've seen a lot of Graves animation cancel videos, and with varying differences in understanding of how they work. So everybody knows the basic Graves animation cancels, I think. I'm not going to go over them too much, but for example, here is what I would consider the normal animation cancel. If you cast Q and then you press E as fast as you can after, you can cancel the little stutter step from Q. You can also do this with W. Everything you can do with Q basically you can do with W. One thing to note is that I haven't heard this yet, but W, the further you cast it, the longer it takes for it to blow up. So if you cast on right on top of yourself, it's faster, and you can go like. You can have it blow up faster if you do it with the right animation cancel. Alright, now, people, I'm going to call this next animation cancel, which is similar, but with one very big difference, and that's that you auto attack first. After you auto attack, you have about 1 second, a little bit less probably, to do what I'm going to call the hot potato combo, or hot potato cancel, because I'm going to call it hot potato cancel because you only have a second to do it, and then you lose the ability to do it. So, first you auto, and everybody knows you can just do QE, or WE. So the input is you press Q, then you press E instantly after. It's different from, not only visually, but functionally different from the normal QE cancel. When you do the normal QE cancels, /WE, I'm just gonna refer to QE from now on. Is the point of origin is where you start. So as you can see, it's behind me. If you do the hot potato cancel, it actually happens during your dash. So for example, it's actually somewhere in the middle of the dash. So you're sliding while using the ability rather than using the ability and canceling the stutter with your E. It's different because the stutter happens during the dash, so it's basically like doesn't happen at all. Yeah, so that's some of the differences from the two. Obviously, people know that you can do the auto, and that's how you do the ult cancel. You have to hot potato to do the ult cancel, which is RE. Super useful if you're chasing someone. Something that I think people probably have an understanding of. It was useful until they removed it from Cassiopeia. How this game works, at least I think, it's theoretical. When you click an ability, let's say I press Q, and I click somewhere, let's say I put it right there. What it does is it creates a line in between my character model and wherever I'm pointing, wherever my mouse is, and it just extends the line in between those 2 points. If you change the relationship between your character and the point where you click the ability, while the animation is happening, you can change direction. So, for example, you can press Q here, right in front of myself. For example, if I press Q here and I flash here, it's just like a normal Q. But if I press Q right next to myself and I flash over the point where I Q, it's going to come out backwards. Whether or not that's useful, it's up to you. It's fancy. It's actually useful in a lot of maybe if you're running away from somebody and you need to blow it up against a wall that's only behind you, or I don't know, it's an animation cancel too because you don't have to wait for the Q to come out. Yeah, that's how you use the point. But you can also do it with ult. Maybe that's useful. You can like, you have to basically flash over the point where you press the Q, where you press the ability. The trick is just pressing the ability close to yourself and flashing further. It's easier to do that. Yeah, so you can maybe do it like. Maybe you can get over that wall. Maybe you can't. There we go. Anyways, that's the concept of how the points work. An interesting way that you can use this is, you know how if you do it with flash, you flash over your point, you can Q backwards. You can actually do this with the hot potato cancel, and make it so you can Q backwards. Sorry, I know hot potato is like unbelievably stupid, but it's just the name I came up with, so just forget about it. You can auto Q E, right? Oops, I was messed up. You can, if you click Q close to yourself when you do this cancel, you can actually have it shoot backwards too. But how it works very similar to how flash works. So if you Q here and I E over that point, instead of flashing over the point, we're Eing over the point. And what that'll do is this. Oops. Comes out backwards. Or any direction you want, actually. Basically, as I said, you E over the point that you Q, kind of like flash. You can do it with W, obviously, and you can do it with ult, which looks really cool. As you can see, he's it's like the normal cancel, except the ult pops out of your butt. Because he's looking the other way. Anyways, when you think about it, that's not exactly the most useful thing, considering you can use this kickback and not cancel it with E. So it's like you use E and you get the kickback that you would have got already. Unless you wanted to go in a different direction. That would be how it would be useful. You probably wouldn't want to do it like backwards, because you might as well just do normal ult at that point. I think finally what people don't understand is, or not what people don't understand, this is a new tech that I've never seen anybody do, and I know it's very useful. It's actually insanely useful. It's actually surprising that I've never seen anybody use it. I'm going to call it reload cancel. You see how Graves enters a reload animation either after he uses all of his bullets, or after you wait a little bit on the first shot missing or firing. He has some weird glitches where you can have two reload animations going on at the same time. I don't know how it works, that part works. I'm pretty sure you can do some stuff with that, but I haven't figured it out yet. But anyways, reload canceling. The point of it is that if you wait for the reload, you can do all of the gliding animation cancels, like with hot potatoes basically. But you can do it way after the period has ended for the hot potatoes. For example, wavered reload. Oops, sorry. Reload. Get the sliding Qs. Or sliding W. One of the crazy things about that is that for the animation, for this animation cancel, instead of pressing QE, like normally you press QE or WE or Alt E, you press EQ. So the input actually changes, which is really important, because otherwise it's not going to work. Like, you actually can't do that cancel, the reload cancel, if you don't press EQ, which is different. You can do it with Alt too, and the interesting thing about Alt is it has two. You can basically choose how you want to do it. So normally when you do Alt, when you do it with like the hot potato cancel, you press RE really fast, and you don't have any blowback. If you do a reload cancel Alt, which is ER, you can choose whether or not to have the blowback. So for example, here's one. Oops, I didn't let it reload. See, it cancels the R animation, but you still have the blowback. So it's time efficient, and you can actually use the kind of like with the flash. So you can have like a double jump. Yeah, you go really far. You can go over pretty insane distances with that. Or if you press, that's how you do it with if you just press R and E, like a normal timing, RE. I mean ER, sorry, ER. For reload cancel, you do E first and then you press ability. But if you do E and R at the exact same time, you can do it like how you normally would cancel, so without the blowback. that is actually insanely useful for chasing. If you're chasing someone, they dash, and you want to chase them, you can press RE as fast as you can. But you have to make sure to wait for the reload. So yeah, you can choose to do either the blowback version or the non-blowback version. And that counts. Anyways, thank you. First video.